It's Hurricane Preparedness Week, and we want to make sure that our families here in Hawaii are always prepared for any type of crisis. And we want to make sure your home is covered in cases like this and there's any type of disaster. Here with us today to tell us how to protect our home is First Insurance Vice President of Marketing and Customer Experience. Please welcome Miss Nina. Hi, sister.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How
This is your first time with us, yeah?
First time.
You know, and before we get started, my family and I have been through two hurricanes on the island of Kauai, both Hurricane Iniki and Hurricane Eva. So I think having this public service announcement for Hawaii to know is very crucial, very, very fundamental for everybody. So thank you for being here. So first off, what insurance do residents need during the hurricane season? Because we're getting ready for the season, right?
Yes. So you need 3 different types of insurance. You want to make sure, one, of course, you have hurricane insurance, which will cover wind and rain damage during a hurricane. You need homeowners insurance, which will cover wind and rain aside from the hurricane. And then flood insurance is also a great policy to have because it covers the water flowing on the ground, flowing over the ground.
Oh, you know, our home on Kauai a couple weeks ago had the big flooding, and it was 6 feet underwater.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I have another question. Are hurricane and homeowners and flood insurance required?
No, not required necessarily. Sometimes, if you have a mortgage, your lender will require homeowners and hurricane. And if you're in a high-risk flood area, then you might also be required to buy flood insurance. But even though it's not required, we really recommend having it because you never know what can happen, right? There's wind and rain events throughout the year, not just hurricanes.
Yeah, and when is the best time to secure insurance?
I would say now. You want to have insurance now because you just never know what can happen, right? So one thing with flood insurance, so NFIP flood insurance, there's a waiting period of 30 days from the time that you purchase it. So, if something happens within that 30 days, you're still out of luck. And then when there's a hurricane approaching, sometimes insurers will issue a moratorium, which means they won't write a new policy when the hurricane's coming really close. And then also, so they might not write right away, and so you just want to make sure you have that coverage secured.
I hear a lot of people talking about they don't get the insurance until it's like season time. Is it the right thing to do?
No, you want to have it all the time.
Yeah, people say they want to save their money, and then there's other people that would buy homes, and I heard this too, that they would wait to see what the outlook for the year would look like. Is that a mistake?
Well, yeah, you just never know what can happen, right? So you want to make sure your property is protected, your investment is protected, because you never know what can happen.
Yeah, and I hear a lot of people talking about, because I come from Kauai, so I hear a lot of these stories. People don't have enough insurance. Can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes. So, First Insurance sells our products through independent agents, and they're really the ones that can help make sure you have the right amount of coverage, your right coverages, and then right amount of limits. And I think it's just so important to make sure you're reaching out to them so that, not regularly, but just make sure you have that taken care of, and so that you're ready for the hurricane season. Okay,
and another thing, the flood insurance, right? A lot of people that they don't really know where their the tidal wave line comes in. Can you explain a little bit more how people can get educated about that?
Oh, well, so everybody's in a flood zone in Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
And some flood areas are higher risk. But I think your agent can definitely help you make sure you know what flood zone you're in.
Got it.
And of course, I think your lender would require it if it's necessary. But again, there could be a tsunami, there could be, flash flooding, there could be anything that could happen. So it might be good to secure it even if you're not in a high risk.
Wise. That's a wise decision. Where can people find more information?
So they can come to our website, www.ficoh.com. We sell all 3. We sell hurricane, homeowners, and flood insurance. But again, through independent agents, they can find an agent on our website as well.
Oh, thank you so much. So important. Thank you. Please
come
again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And stay with Island Life Live during our Hurricane Preparedness Week as we get you geared up for hurricane season and learn what you need to know before disaster hits. And coming up later in the show, the Federal Emergency Management Agency joins us to discuss how federal, state, and local entities come together in a time of disaster.